over 20 years in the global watch and jewelry wholesale business, Allon has built trusted relationships with over 500 retailers across Europe, Asia, Australia, and the US. After moving to New York 7 years ago, he continued to grow his international network before shifting into retail. In June 2025, he opened the iconic Timepieces showroom, an appointment only luxury showroom and lounge overlooking Bryant Park. Designed as an elevated destination for rare timepieces, exquisite jewelry, and designer handbags, the space reflects Alon's passion for sharing beautiful pieces and getting to know the people who appreciate them. As he warmly puts it, come in as a customer and leave as a friend. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Live the Glamour Chats. I am here today with Allon Zohar, and you are. I feel like it's incredible because this is actually something I've been looking at watches a lot lately, but iconic timepieces. You just opened in the city in June of 2025. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we'll get into some of the history.
So we've opened a brand new luxury showroom looking over Bryant Park. Very exciting. It's sort of like a living room to invite people just to spend time, meet new people, socialize, and together with beautiful watches, jewelry, and high-end designer bags.
Mm.
So it's one space for all luxury items.
It's like a dream.
For some people, yes.
Like very dreamy. So what made you come about opening a place like this? What's your history in the industry?
So I've been in the industry for 20 years, doing wholesale, selling mainly high-end watches, Rolex, AP, Patek Philippe, IWC, Cartier, modern and vintage pieces,
Mm.
together with custom jewelry, selling all around the world, Europe, all around the States, Asia, even Australia. And I just wanted to bring better prices for wholesale prices for the end client, and just give some of my knowledge from the past 20 years to the people in New York.
Which retail doesn't really get. I think the retail customer uh, hasn't doesn't get to experience that the same way from being in wholesale for so long.
Correct. So we do have a super unique sort of space here. You enter, it's sort of like this corridor with beautiful antique vintage cars, clocks, beautiful artwork. So it's just this new refreshing vibe. And then you enter into this kind of living room with lots of light. There's like 8 massive windows just entering into the space. And yeah, it's just a fun space to meet new people. We create a lot of events here as well,
Hmm.
with speakers or with all kinds of specific different kinds of what's the word?
Like talent, I guess you could say.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
And then together with all my knowledge,
Hmm.
it just creates a super luxury, fun vibe. And I have a motto that you come in as a customer and you leave as a friend.
I love that. I actually was going to
Yeah.
ask you about that that motto
Yeah.
because I think it's a great philosophy. And for for an industry that's so high end and luxury, there's always that I think struggle for some people because you may want to buy certain pieces and things. And I know for myself, I love buying luxury handbags and shoes, and that's always my comfort zone. But for me, I was challenged or have been challenged because I've been looking at watches. I feel like it's not something I know enough about. So I feel like having that type of philosophy makes someone feel a little bit more comfortable walking in the door.
So I found from my sort of knowledge and experience that with today's online
Mm.
possibilities, you sort of reach a limit of how much you're willing to spend and feeling comfortable. So we offer also online,
Hmm.
but the more expensive items, I would say probably around more than 5K, people will feel want to feel the watch
Yes.
and the bag and they feel much more comfortable standing in front of someone honest. And there's yeah, I feel like over 5K, then it's sort of a different
Yeah.
ball game than what you would feel comfortable selling online,
That
buying
is
online.
that is so true. Even I can vouch for that because that's where I've been stuck. Is like I'm looking at all these watches,
Right.
these, and I'm like, this is $13,000. I'm gonna just put my credit card in.
Give it to this random person that you've
Right.
never met. Right.
Exactly, exactly. That's, it's a big, it's an investment. Definitely an
Right.
investment, and you want to know that you're secure with it. I, um, this is a question. I guess it's sort of a little bit more personal, but a lot of people ask, and it's more towards watches and maybe handbags. How do you, I mean, I know a lot of watches are, these vintage styles, or like for Rolex, you can get a great piece that you can't find anywhere, but maybe it's 20 years old. Do you feel like customers come into you for, a little bit more of that information and understanding if they're buying a watch like that, the safety behind it, but then also like the value?
So 20 years is pretty much a new watch these days. I have
Right.
we have watches that are 60, 80 years old.
Oh, wow.
So those are real vintage,
Yes.
even from the 1950s, the 1960s. So we do have three watchmakers,
Mhm.
and every piece that enters this showroom is checked before entering the showroom,
Hmm.
just because these days a lot of watches pass so many hands that you already don't know what you're getting.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is super important. So everyone knows that I'm getting a watch here that is
Mm.
totally authenticated and everything and works well, and that's super important, especially with vintage watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that I have a friend of mine who's very into watches, and I'm like, how do I how does someone sit down and look at a watch or look at a piece and say like this is, and I think going to you is probably the answer. They've been looking at a specific style of watch, and how do I know that I'm buying this watch that maybe was 30, 40 years old and it's going to continue working and not suddenly break
Right.
and not work anymore?
So first of all, that's the problem you solve by not buying online.
Yeah.
And you actually you have to choose a watch dealer or a shop
Hmm.
that you feel comfortable with. And actually, like all my clients are long-term friends already.
Oh, okay.
So it really works like that. So I guess you stick with people you trust.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And I think
Yeah.
I think in person is definitely helpful for that as well. How would you say your experience working overseas has influenced you here in the United States?
So the market in the United States is completely different than the European market.
Interesting.
Like completely. It's
Huh.
you can't even compare even pricing and just the people you meet.
Wow.
So for example, Italy prefer steel watches.
Hmm.
Even the type of watches is completely different.
Hmm.
Even the jewelry that, they prefer white gold.
Hmm.
Here it's more maybe two-tone or yellow gold. Um,
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
so I feel like the communities are completely different.
Do you think that there's a different understanding of, let's say, luxury and watches in Europe versus the United States?
I feel bad saying this,
And
but
you can say
I
it.
feel that
Not to
Europeans
judge, we're not judging.
Europeans like more fine.
Yeah.
I'll give you a simple example. Here in
Mm.
America, 14 karat gold is acceptable.
Okay.
It's not acceptable in Europe.
Oh, wow.
Everyone will want 18 karat.
Wow. Oh,
Like
that's so interesting. Just that alone.
like no one would even ask, is this 14 or 18K? Because
Wow.
it's a given that it's 18K.
That's unbelievable.
Yep. So that's just a simple
That's,
example
yeah,
of
that's such a simple, yeah.
right,
And
right,
then like I know here designer brands, and I'm not just not in Europe is not like that, but I think that we have a different culture around designer brands, and
right.
social media, of course, has probably influenced that even more. Do you notice that difference is where maybe in Europe they may know brands that are not, a big name like Cartier or something. Not that that's not there, but we may look at it here and say like that's the one brand that we want to buy versus there may be 10 different brands that we don't know about that they like.
So definitely there's difference in the love to specific brands. Um, in watches,
Hmm.
but I feel, I mean, it's the same love, but just
Okay.
people are much more specific in
Interesting.
Europe
Yeah, yeah.
than in America.
A
And
different eye.
yeah, different
Yeah.
audience,
Yeah.
different clientele.
So that must be interesting for you to work having this background and maybe being able to suggest certain pieces that we wouldn't think of here, maybe for quality or design, and see what type of reactions that you get, or maybe educating people in different things.
Correct. Also, business-wise,
Hmm.
uh, some watches you would purchase in Europe, you would bring them to America because much more
Hmm.
people prefer those specific models.
That makes sense.
So, but it's very interesting. I mean, I have a lot of European clients that come from Europe to the States and purchasing here, and I offer them different items
Right.
because the American office has different sort of stock than the Europe office.
I know
So
here too, just from my experience and lately looking, and I'm trying to understand the industry, the watch side of the industry a lot better. And coming across women's watches, you see the Cartier tank and you see the Datejust Rolex, and those two seem to be like I notice everywhere on every
right,
website, everywhere in the United States. I was in Europe this summer and I felt like I was seeing so many other brands that I've never heard of or only heard of
right,
a little bit. And I myself was like, I don't really want to lean into, I love them. I mean, I think they're gorgeous and I would never say no, but
right.
it's how can we, or maybe how can we educate ourselves here on some other brands?
So I feel like it's based on taste.
Okay.
So here in America, I feel like larger watches are more loved. For example,
Hmm.
Breitling
Yes.
or Panerai. And in Europe, it's a little bit more fine.
Okay.
So more, I mean, here Cartier is huge, but maybe Cartier there or IWC is
Oh.
very big in Europe.
Which you
Um,
see here, but I feel like it's not a name that, unless you're a watch person,
right.
connoisseur, you will know it. But then here, just in general, it's harder
So
to.
I feel here it's very much Rolex, Rolex, Rolex,
It
Cartier,
is. Yeah.
and Patek Philippe.
Tech Philippe too, yes.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
so funny that you said Panerai, because that was, I mean, that's an Italian brand, correct? Is it? Yeah. And I saw it and it opened in Short Hills Mall, and I started to kind of look at some of the pieces they had, and I feel like that's a brand that at least it's, I mean, maybe for me it's newer. It can be here, you know better than me, but I
Yep.
feel like it's a newer brand, more recognized brand, becoming a more recognized brand here, than
Yep.
it had been in the past. Um,
Yeah, but I still think it's
More
yeah, I
European,
agree.
yeah. What would you say for someone? Coming in and saying like, I'm ready to make this purchase. And they think they have their eye on a certain piece or selection. Do you just go with that, or do you also show them other styles that maybe fit that same
So
criteria?
first I would ask, what's your budget?
Okay.
And then I would ask, what do you want, a steel bracelet? Do you want a gold watch? Do you want a leather strap? Do you want a
Hmm.
rubber strap? Depending on what, I mean, there's so many options.
Right.
And then I would get into the details. What size case do you want? Obviously, men or women. Um, yeah, I mean, there's so much details that I need to know before sort of suggesting what I can
Yeah.
offer.
That
What I
helps
can,
educate someone too, I think, because maybe you didn't necessarily, you're just thinking about a band or the watch
right.
piece, and now have a lot more details.
But it's always confusing if someone comes in and thinks they know what they want, but then you offer 10 other options
Yes.
and then and then they're like, wait, I might change
That
my
would happen
mind.
to me.
Right,
That
right.
would happen to me, for sure. Because I feel like
Yeah.
once you start looking, it's like, there's so much more. Not to stay completely on watches. I know you said you have jewelry as well, and handbags. What made you tap more into that market as well? Is just because something you were doing, or?
I was doing that in the past, also for the past 20 years. The custom jewelry,
Mm,
so tennis bracelets,
okay.
necklaces, rings, earrings,
Mm,
from one pointers to 15 carat
wow.
stones.
That's
So yeah, there's also a big variety and a big price difference in certain items. And it goes to sort of jewelry goes together with watches.
it does very
So
well.
you have to, if you have a nice watch, you have to have a stack of bracelets next to
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You notice that? Do you feel like people come in and they come in for one specific item, a tennis bracelet, and then they're looking at
Yeah.
a watch? Or
And if you're spending 30K on a watch, then another 2, 3K
it's
for
not.
a beautiful bangle or tennis bracelet is fun.
Do you
The
No,
yep.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
The bags is completely separate. I
Mm,
feel like there's a big niche for that. It's we have mainly Hermes bags.
mm.
So Birkins, Kellys, and everyone is in the different colors. So it's very, I love seeing all the women who enter the showroom and suddenly their eyes on the bag section
Yeah.
goes like
Amazing.
they're in heaven.
Which is I mean, that bag is so exclusive and it's a challenge to get, especially I know the whole process of, if you were to go into a store and get one being on a list and having to purchase certain items, um, do you feel like you make it a little bit easier in that regard for people to shop?
100%.
Mm.
It's you have to have a big purchase in the past
Yes.
in a Hermes shop. So some people don't have that,
Mm-mm.
and they deserve a Birkin as well,
Right.
right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, we have a large assortment of bags, over 100 bags.
Wow.
So
Believable.
yeah, it's part of the luxury. We can't put cars in our showroom.
Actually,
We're
that
not
would
as
be
as we're not as we don't have the space
not
for
yet.
cars yet. Not yet. Not yet.
What
Yeah.
would you say, and I think we talked a little bit about this, but the difference between someone buying vintage versus new. I don't purchase a lot of vintage items, and so for me it's always that's a little bit of a challenge. When I've been told it's fine in, a handbag or a watch, it actually could be better. Um, how do you explain that to someone when they're ready to make a purchase?
So it depends on the person. I feel like the last 5 to 10 years, the vintage has really gone come back.
Mhm.
It really depends on the person's personality, their look, what they're already wearing, also the clothing they're wearing. So someone who's more modern, chic modern,
Right.
I don't know if it's gonna fit a 1960 Audemars Piguet, like so it really depends on someone's character and what they like to, what vibe they have.
That makes sense. I like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
Do you feel like people will come in looking for something that maybe you don't have, but they come to you because they're wanting that specific item that they maybe saw somewhere or can't find?
Definitely. So we can source any watch
Mm.
at any price point. Vintage, modern, anything pretty much. So yeah, I mean, we have some funky
Yeah.
requests coming in here, and it's I like the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah, it's
especially
fun.
because you've been in the industry for 20 years, you've
Right.
seen so much. So you have, besides just knowing that, what items are, the contacts and relationships that you have, I'm sure are very vast compared to, maybe just walking into a regular store.
Correct.
Mm.
Correct.
Uh,
And we have a lot of different brands here, and so it's very easy to source,
if
actually.
if someone comes in or wanted to come in, I know you're by appointment only, correct?
Correct.
Come
Yep.
in. So they would
So
call.
we want to be ready for the client. So
Got it.
if I know someone is coming for bridal, for
Mm,
example, then I'll prepare X amount of stones if they're coming here for like an engagement ring. I just like to be prepared before the client arrives. Or if someone is coming in to see a certain Rolex, I'll have five of that model just so they have options.
that makes sense. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
ready
I
to
feel
go.
like people appreciate that, and I'm not wasting people's time and our time.
Yeah.
And
That's
yeah, I like that sort of it blends with our vibe here in the showroom.
It's good. And that makes sense for the type of purchase that you're making, that. And
Right.
I guess probably provides a little bit of privacy too if someone needs it.
Definitely.
I,
Definitely.
which
It's
people.
funny also if we have a large event here of
Mhm.
let's say, I don't know, 50 people, most people will not purchase at the event because they
Right.
want privacy and to do their thing. So they'll just make an appointment
Hmm.
the following day or next few days and come on their own. Yeah.
When you have these events, are they like for how do you do them? Are like an invite only type of event to customers or certain select people?
Yeah, they're invite only. Usually we bring some kind of activation or speaker or just something unique and just of interest. So it's not all about
Yeah.
the beautiful jewelry and watches here, but also about sport or about wine
I love
tasting
that.
or yeah, different kind of activations,
That's nice.
which keeps it interesting and just you learn something new every day.
Yeah, and you bring it all together. I feel like they all go, I mean, wine and sports, cigars, even I'm sure they all kind of all come together in that whole
Right,
luxury space. Um,
right.
my one of my last questions is the name of my show is Live the Glamour. And how do you feel like, and I I feel like you get to live the glamour in the environment you're in, but it doesn't have to be specific to that. How would you say that you do that in your life, live the glamour?
Spend time with family,
Oh, see, I love that.
right? That's number one.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I actually love. I'm part of a very materialistic world,
Yeah,
but me
nice.
myself, like I'm not that materialistic.
Hmm.
But it's nice to wear a nice watch, special watch. I have a lot of people who come in here and want sort of his and hers, for example. So you can create sort of something extra than just having a nice watch or jewelry piece, or have a necklace for all the family, for example.
That's so nice. Yeah.
Right. So it's not all about, it's something a bit more emotional and private.
And connecting. I mean, I'm sure
Right.
I feel like it really, I mean, jewelry, all of the items, they really do. I mean, they are so, in that materialistic kind of feel. But really at the end of the day, if you're getting something from a grandparent or something that was, that you said you can have as a family heirloom, I mean, that really tells a story past
Right.
the luxury side of things. That's amazing. It must be nice to see that too.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah. Where can everyone find you? Social media, website, book an appointment.
Social media. So at the Iconic Timepieces
Okay,
and our website, iconictimepieces.com.
perfect.
We're sort of in Midtown, New York City.
Mhm. So it's
And yeah, it's the best is booking online.
easy to find you.
Yes,
Very
pretty
easy.
easy. Yeah.
I'll have all that linked in the description box here below so that everyone can.
Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you so much,
That
Alon.
was so much fun.
Yeah.